Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Bowen. We are doing World History Online Edition. So today I'm going to talk you through what you need to do for class today. So first thing I want you to do is go to World History and hit Home. You're going to scroll down until you find the Unit 11 World War I module, and you will click on today, which is going to be Wednesday, March 18th. The first thing I want you to do is to take the Unit 11 pre-assessment. So if you have not yet done that, please stop the video and go ahead and take that before you watch the notes. Okay, so the second thing that you're going to do is you're going to watch the video and take notes. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And then the final thing that you're going to do is you are going to click on this assignment and you are going to take a picture of your notes page and upload it to this assignment. So make sure that you do all three of those steps today. Okay, so we're going to start with notes on the causes of World War I. So let's update your table of contents. Today is March 18th, 2020, and the topic is the main causes of World War I notes. Nobody knows what page we're on, so just put it on the next page in your notebook. Okay, so on that page, I want you to make it look like this. So draw a chart on your page and include a big box at the top with causes of World War I. Then you need 4 more boxes for militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. And this chart should take up your entire page. So if you want to pause the video right now so that you can do that, that would be awesome. Another great thing about being able to watch videos and take notes is you can pause it whenever you need to, and you don't have to ask me to stop or slow down because you can control the video and you can re-watch it if you need to. Okay, so the content objective for today's lecture is students will be able to demonstrate an understanding of the long-term causes of World War I and its global impact. And you will be able to identify the causes of the war, including nationalism, entangling alliances, militarism, and imperialism. So World War I is known as the war to end all wars, and it occurred between July 1914 and November 11th, 1918. By the end of the war, over 17 million people had been killed, including over 100,000 American troops. While the causes of the war are infinitely more complicated than just a simple timeline of events, and they are still debated and discussed to this day, the list that we are going to look at today will provide an overview of the most frequently cited events that led to the war. So the cause of World War I was a complicated combination of factors that grew out of European Industrial Revolution. Remember that the Industrial Revolution was the movement from people making goods in their homes to making goods in factories, and that people moved from rural areas to urban areas or the city to work in those factories. So as industrialization swept across Europe in the 19th century, so too did a demand for raw materials and new markets to sell those raw materials in. These demands pushed Europe into a second phase of imperialism that culminated in the almost complete colonization of Africa, Asia, and Australia. So as Europeans scrambled to conquer territory and establish colonies, they came into conflict with each other. Old land-based powers like the Ottomans and the Russians, and new powers like the Americans and the Japanese. This competition for colonies, combined with the manufacturing capability brought by industrialization, led to massive military buildups. Militarism in industrialized nations created an intense competition to outgun rivals through the mass production of the tools of war. Militarism brought instability, leading European states to form military alliances aimed at balancing the power among rival states and maintaining peace in Europe. However, these alliances tended to be secret and unstable, which had the effect of intensifying competition and distrust. This intensification, competition, and distrust fostered nationalism among both the great powers of Europe and the suppressed ethnic groups like the Slavs. So here are our four main causes of World War I: militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. The first thing I'm going to do is give you a definition for each, and then I will talk about how each term specifically was a cause of World War I. Okay, so first we have militarism. These are the opinions or actions of people who believe that a country should use military methods and forces to gain power to achieve their goals. So basically this means you want to have a strong military. And most of the countries that existed in Europe were busy building up their militaries. Their leaders wanted to have very strong armies. Partially, they needed this to go and colonize the places in Africa and Asia, but also they did this just to be able to defend themselves. Okay, so as the world entered the 20th century, an arms race had begun, primarily over the numbers of warships. And a bunch of different countries were quickly expanding their ability to make warships and to train young men for battle. So the warships increased in the number of guns, the size, and the speed. And Germany and Great Britain in particular both increased the size of their navies. So this increase in militarism helped push countries into war because they had basically already prepared for war. Okay, the next one is alliances. So an alliance is a union between countries in which people agree to work together. So we have several alliances in World War I. The first is the Triple Entente. This includes Germany, Italy, and Austria-Hungary. And then we have the Triple Alliance, which includes Russia, France, and Great Britain. And I will talk about that in just a minute. But as our little cartoon here says, alliances led to World War I because one problem between two countries became a bigger problem between many countries. So think about if you have a best friend and somebody is picking on your best friend and they hit your best friend and you decide to defend your best friend, and then you have another friend who steps in to defend you. That's what happened with World War I, is you just had a bunch of people who are defending each other. So alliances, countries made agreements with neighboring countries, and they made treaties that could pull them into battle. So like I just said, if one country was attacked, other countries had to defend them. There were several alliances before World War I. Russia and Serbia had an alliance, Germany and Austro-Hungary had an alliance, France and Russia had an alliance, Britain, France, and Belgium had an alliance, and Japan and Britain had an alliance. So the way that World War I started is Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and then Russia got involved to defend Serbia. Then Germany, seeing that Russia was mobilizing, they declared war on Russia. And then France was drawn in against Germany and Austria-Hungary. So as you can see, it turns into a complicated mess pretty quickly because of all of these entangling alliances. And here is an image that is often shown to illustrate the point of these alliances. So we have Serbia and Bulgaria in the middle here, and this is the Balkans, and this is where everything is going to start. And Austria-Hungary doesn't want to let go of the Serbs, so they're going to declare war on Serbia. And Italy and Germany are going to come to their aid because they have alliances with Italy and Germany. Russia, France, and Britain have an alliance together. Russia has an alliance with Serbia, so they are all going to come to defend Serbia against Austria-Hungary. The next one is imperialism. This is a policy by which a country increases its power by gaining control over other areas of the world. So they're basically building an empire by taking over other countries. And remember our imperialism activity we did with the scramble for Africa, when you were pretending to be different countries and you were shading in the squares to determine what areas in Africa you would have. That is imperialism. So imperialism led to World War I because European countries were competing for the same land and resources to become more powerful. So imperialism is when a country increases their power and wealth by bringing additional territories under their control. And the European countries fought over claims in Africa and Asia because of the raw materials available in these areas. So we have increased competition and a desire for greater empires, and this led to an increase in confrontation between these countries that helped push the world into World War I. Last but not least is nationalism. This is a feeling that people have of being loyal to and proud of their country, often with the belief that it is better and more important than other countries. So if you have all of these countries that are kind of strutting around and wanting to prove their dominance and their power, this is obviously going to lead to some kind of conflict. So the Slavic people, they were a nation of Slavs, but they're located in modern-day Bosnia and Herzegovina. They were under the rule of Austria-Hungary during this time, but they were not happy with that. They wanted to be a part of Serbia because most of the Slavic people like them were in Serbia. This led to a nationalistic and ethnic revolt that eventually led to the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary by a Serbian nationalist terrorist group. So after the assassination, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and Germany declared war on Russia, and this is what began World War I. So our four causes, again, include militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. And the way that you can remember that is they are the main causes of World War I. Militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. Okay, that's all for today. Don't forget to take a picture of your notebook page and upload it to Canvas. Have a great day.